Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, Big Red Overland. I'm Brian with Big Red Overland. Today we're going to install the Wolfbox G900 Tri-Pro rear view camera system. I'm sure you've seen it all over Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of that. Well, Big Red Overland has one now, and we're going to put it on Big Red the Jeep. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to rig it up onto a Jeep Gladiator, and we'll check it out. Alright, so I went ahead and took the front bumper off here. We're going to do the front camera first. There's some clips that go along the top. It's a fairly straightforward removal process for the front bumper. In hindsight, maybe I should have showed you that. But we're going to get the front bumper camera installed. And I think it's going to look really good if I just put it into one of these little grill holes here. But I just got to kind of figure out how to do that because it doesn't really want to fit there. Maybe I'll use some double-sided tape and just kind of wedge it in there and hope that it stays, which is actually exactly what I'm going to do, so stand by. Alright, so I took the little mounting bracket off, and I'm going to use some double-sided Gorilla Tape and just stick it into that grill insert right there, and I think that should be good. Alright, so I just kind of wedged it right into that center grill hole right there. It's not going to give me probably the best ground view, but I don't know. If you have any better ideas, leave it in the comments there. I don't want to drill holes into my bumper. I can always move it later. We'll see how that works out for now, though. All right, so what we're going to do now is take the wiring harness that they give you. It's a pretty long lead, and everything's really easy, nice plug and play. So I think I'm going to fish this up through this bar here and plug it in. There we go. And we can run the wires back through here. And I'm just going to leave them for now because we got some more wiring we have to do under the hood here. And then I'm going to show you how I route wires into the cab of the Jeep rather than going through the firewall. I wasn't thinking that hole is where the hood latch goes in, so you definitely don't want a wire coming through there. So I just kind of routed it up under this plastic piece there. I was actually just going through the accessories kit there, and they do supply some nice double-sided tape, so I didn't have to use the Gorilla Tape there, but too late. Let's just keep moving on. So with the kit that Wolfbox sent over, we got the Hardwire power adapter, and they sent a bunch of different fuse taps. So typically you would have to plug into the cigarette outlet, and that's how it would power on the rear view camera, but we're going to hardwire it in, so when you start the Jeep, it's just going to start right up. So we're going to find which fuse tap we're going to need, and we're going to have to tap into the fuse box there and find an accessory that turns on when the Jeep starts. Since I already tapped into this accessory slot here for another thing that I run, people are saying you can use number 57, which is going to be this yellow one back here, and that would be for your heated seats. I don't have heated seats, so I'm going to tap into that one right there, and it should give me accessory power when the Jeep is on. Alright, so we had the accessory fuse on there, and then you also need a constant hot wire, this yellow one. And the internet said that this F102, 103, anyway, right here should supply that. And then we grounded it out just onto the negative terminal, which I don't really like doing, but I couldn't find anywhere else to do it. And we're going to start the truck and make sure that the camera power's on. Alright, so we're hot right now. Grab the mirror. This is the moment of truth. We're going to plug it in to the power section. Hopefully we get life out of this. Please, buddy. Look at that. Powered on. And we're going to set all that up later. Next step is going to be to run all the wires into the cab, which what I do is I run it through this side cowling here and then through into the door, and we can go up the pillar and into the truck. So let's do that. So we're losing a little daylight here, but so this is how I route into the cab. We're going to come through here And then just go into this cowling here, and you don't have to take it all the way off, but you do have to loosen it. And you'll see, it's a little hard to see because we don't have lights, but you take the little tabs off this rubber trim piece here, and you'll see I have wires. Dang, no light, but the wires come through here, and you can route them in behind the dash there. And then I'm gonna probably go up this pillar in here and across and then down into the mirror. Sorry it's getting dark, guys. I'm gonna do all the wiring and get that thing set up, and then we'll come back once everything's wired up and we got the camera installed. All right, so I ran out of daylight last night while I was doing the install. I think the last thing I showed you guys, I was starting to run the wires. So I'm just gonna give you a quick recap on what I ended up doing, and then I'll show you how this mirror works in there. So I did the rear bumper camera on the license plate with the bracket they give you, just like that, and then ran it down behind the bumper and ran it along the frame all the way up over along the frame, and then came up through the plug that's underneath that goes into the passenger side here, and then I ran it under the carpet, up through the drain plug, under the carpet, and then like in behind this plastic piece, and it comes up the side. And then I had to take this pillar off, which is just 2 screws here, pop the pillar off, and I ran that wire with all the wires that came in through the hood, which I came in through this side cowling here, and I'll show you that in a second. And then up this, and I just was able to pull this headliner plastic down a little bit just with my finger, and it comes out here and connects to the camera. So the GPS also is right there, and that ran up through here and in there, and I'll show you what's under the hood. So a quick recap here. I ran the front camera to this grill slat, put the wires up through here. They have nice little connectors on all their wires. And then an issue I had was they give you 2 fuse taps, and I was able to tap into a ignition source here. One has to turn on like with the ignition, and then one has to be a constant battery power, and I could not find a fuse that worked for the constant battery power. I think I had put it here, that blue one there, which is, I don't know, something to do with the radio, because my radio stopped working. So what I ended up doing was just hardwiring instead of the constant power from the fuse box. Let me get that clipped on there. Instead of the constant power from the fuse box, I just did straight to the battery, positive there. And then the negative, I just grounded it to the negative of the battery. I don't know if that's right. Let me know in the comments. But then that wire with all the other spaghetti I have goes under here, and then through the cowling and into the plastic, and then like I showed you up there. So it was an okay install, kind of tedious, but really not that hard. And I'm going to show you how the camera works inside. It's actually pretty awesome. So hold up. All right, so check this out. We're in the Jeep now. I'm going to show you how this thing works. It's pretty freaking awesome. So we'll start the Jeep, and this just takes a second. It'll boot up, which this is pretty nice. Even when the screen's off, it works as a regular mirror, which is pretty awesome. So you don't always have to run the screen. But it'll boot up here in just a second. Here it goes, Wolfbox. And then here's your main screen. This is the backup camera. You got your time. It has built-in GPS, so it gives you the compass, your speedometer, and then you just swipe through. That's my front camera. Okay, so that's the, oh, it picked up my voice. So this is the camera. This is like the dash camera right on the mirror itself. You got a view of all 3, and you just swipe through them there. So we got the back, the grill, and the dash. And then what's pretty cool is you can kind of like adjust the angles here. Scroll up and down. Oh, it's maxed out there. And you can do that on the back and the front, depending on what you want to see. And then for me, this is a little cluttered. You have the time here, the GPS, but it's got all kinds of different settings. If you go into the settings there, you can actually turn all that stuff off. Oh, one issue I had was one of the cameras was showing like a mirrored image, and you can just flip, rotate the camera. So if you had to mount something wonky, you can change that, no problem. But like GPS display, I turned that off. We'll go back. Time display, turn that off. Because I already have that on the dash here. And this will just make it a little bit cleaner. So once those settings kind of go away, it's a pretty clear, clean image with really not much on there. And I think it's fantastic. It is like super clear display. So it also records on a loop, and I'm pretty sure you can change how long you want it to record, how often, which that's really nice. So if you were to get in an accident or a road rage thing or anything like that, it's on a constant recording loop. It's got voice control, so if you say like, take a picture, it just takes a picture. Front camera. Oh, it heard me say that again. Front camera. Show front camera. There you go. Show rear camera. Pretty nice. Start recording. Record? I don't know. I gotta go through. There's like all these speech things. So it's turn on recording. It's my first day with it. Give me a break here. But yeah, overall, I mean, this thing is unbelievably awesome. Like, I cannot believe there's a ton of hype with these. It's all over Instagram and TikTok and things like that. And I can kind of see why now, because it's fantastic. There is a phone app you can download too. I haven't downloaded that yet. This is only my first day with this thing. But there's a phone app you can download and control everything with your phone. See your videos that are recorded and things like that. I see there's like some reflection now. It's just because it's so sunny out. And actually, the camera's picking that up more than my eyes are. But yeah, I super recommend this thing. 100%. It is awesome. And if you want to pick one up, I'm going to put a link down below. That helps me out a little bit, helps the channel out a little bit. And you're going to get probably the sweetest, best rear view camera system on the market right now. I really don't know of anything better. They kind of seem to be running the whole thing right now and just blowing everybody else out of the water. But that's all I got for you. If you liked this video, if you learned anything, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Talk to me about what you like, what you don't like about this, maybe tips for the install, things like that. I appreciate all that stuff. And follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Everything is Big Red Overland. And other than that, thanks for watching. Big Red Overland out.